Good morning. I'm meteorologist Kevin Smith at the National Weather Service in Pocatello. Today is Friday, December 26th. Here with your weather hazard briefing, taking an updated look at the active weather we have going on across southeast Idaho. Rain and snow is going to increase again this morning. We saw a little bit of a break, a little bit of a lull for many areas across the region yesterday, but we're going to bring all that back here over the next few hours. We're going to continue that at times on and off right through the day on Saturday. We are expecting a cold front to cross southeast Idaho late this morning into early this afternoon. We may see a heavier burst of squally weather along this front. Taking a look at some of our high-res models and kind of what they think the radar might look like as this comes through, we're seeing some signs that there may be kind of a burst of heavier rain transitioning to heavier snow along that front, maybe a few wind gusts as well, maybe even a few lightning strikes or some thunder as that moves through the area. So don't be surprised if you see those conditions very briefly with that frontal passage today. Snow levels are then going to fall to valley floors, particularly along and behind the front. By the time we get into mid to late afternoon, snow will be possible just about everywhere. So we want everyone to really be aware of the potential for some more travel impacts today and tomorrow compared to what we saw over the past 2 days. We did fairly well Christmas Eve and Christmas Day because we had predominantly rain falling. We also had some breaks with no precipitation in there. We really kept a lot of that snow up at the higher elevations and places like Galena Summit. But that is going to change behind this front as we go into portions of today into Saturday. So if you are planning post-Christmas travel over the next couple days, gonna want to check the forecast, gonna want to look at highway conditions before you head out. Maybe need a little extra time because we are going to see greater coverage of some slick spots on the roadways compared to what we've seen over the past couple days. So one of our big points there. Once we wrap this system up, though, we're expecting a break with dry conditions arriving Sunday. That'll continue into Monday and Tuesday, possibly Wednesday as well behind this system. So some good news there. And you can see that creeping into the weather risk outlook here where we have nothing going on. First, though, snow or a mix of rain and snow and breezy conditions for all areas here today. We are all snow, no rain. By the time we get in tomorrow, things might be a little showerier. Compared to some heavier areas of rain and snow today. Things will be probably a little more showery tomorrow, but anything that does fall will be snow. And then we're smooth sailing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, possibly Wednesday as well. Not expecting the winds to reach wind advisory criteria today. There's an occasional gust of 40 to 50 miles an hour up at some of the mountain peaks. A few of the windier spots, like right here near the Pocatello airport, places like Idaho, some of those spots where we sometimes see those localized higher gusts, may see a few of those, but in general, just noticeably breezy, not terribly unusual for Idaho with some of the wind that we see here. Do have some more watches, warnings, and advisories that have come back to the picture here. So if you are traveling, take note. We've got Boise. We've got down to Salt Lake City shown here. We've got up to Bozeman. We've got over to Jackson. Where you see the pink shading, that's higher impacts, more snowfall, winter storm warnings in effect for those areas. And you can see quite a few areas under winter weather advisories in purple as well. So again, watching for some slick travel spots, watching for some more snow accumulation. Mountain passes definitely going to be affected. We'll look at the updated amounts here in just a moment. But don't let your guard down just because it's been warm and rainy over the past couple days in many areas. Satellite this morning, very similar to what we keep showing you the last couple days. We've got moisture running in off the Pacific Ocean in the form of all these clouds that are transitioning from southwest to northeast up across our region. You can actually see those clouds increasing and filling in a bit here on this loop early this morning because in just a couple hours, we are going to be seeing fairly widespread rain and snow starting to redevelop over portions of the region. Starting to see little hints of that here on radar. We've got some more activity upstream as you head down to the southwest toward California. We're expecting the radar to fill in here just to the southwest of our forecast area as well over the next couple hours. And then we'll bring that front with some squally weather into the area as well. High temperatures today already starting to cool. These are the warmest readings that we're expecting across the region. Expecting 47 for Pocatello, and our current temperature here at the airport is 46. So a lot of these readings are going to be occurring this morning before things kind of get stagnant. They kind of stall out as far as any warming is concerned, and then the temperatures start to drop behind the front as we go into this afternoon and this evening. So again, some of these might be kind of on the early side for seeing temperatures actually this warm. Remember, we're headed towards snowfall to valley floors over the course of the day. Going to throw this in here as well. Severe weather outlook today, not generally expecting severe thunderstorms, but where you see the light green shading, there is a chance of some thunder or lightning embedded in some of our precipitation today, particularly along that cold front late this morning into early this afternoon. We'll see late morning across the eastern Magic Valley and Snake Plain, coming into Idaho Falls and Pocatello somewhere around midday, and then this afternoon down across the southern and eastern highlands. So don't be surprised if you see lightning or hear thunder with a little bit of this activity. Here's an updated look at all of the new snowfall that we're expecting over the next 2 days. This is today and Saturday to wrap up, finally, this multi-day event. No huge changes here. A couple things to point out. We still are expecting generally an inch or less from the eastern Magic Valley up the Snake Plain corridor, including places like Burley, Pocatello, Blackfoot, Idaho Falls, Rexburg, Arco. A lot of you who have really wanted snow, based on some of the comments we're getting on social media, unfortunately still not looking that great for accumulation here in the lowest elevations. And that's simply because once the front goes through and the precipitation gets lighter, we've used up a lot of the precipitation and moisture before we've got the colder air in here. And then just based on the wind flow, some of the mountains are going to do much better than the valleys will, just like we often see with our storm systems here. Island Park finally getting in on the action. We're forecasting 8 to 12 inches. You can see places like Ashton, Driggs, Soda Springs, Lava, Montpelier, Haley and Ketchum up the Wood River Valley, Mackay. A lot of places starting to get into 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6 inch type snowfalls here over the next 48 hours as those snow levels finally come down and we get into more snow and less rain. We did note that the precipitation amounts off our models increased quite a bit this morning here in the Bear River Range. So we saw quite an increase in the snowfall forecast there. Emigration Summit, probably not going to be an easy drive here as we get into later today, tonight, and Saturday. And in the backcountry up there, expecting 1 to 2 feet of additional snow. So higher elevation, certainly still seeing some impressive snowfall out of this multi-day atmospheric river of moisture that's been targeting our region. Winter Storm Severity Index, it looks at things like blowing snow, falling snow, flash freeze from falling temperatures. A lot of different things go into this graphic. Over here on the right is today, Friday, over here on the left, you see my pointer is today, Friday. Over here on the right is tomorrow, Saturday. And I'm showing this one to point out some of the areas where we have the yellow and orange shading for minor to moderate impacts. Again, particularly from difficult conditions in the backcountry and then those slick travel conditions on some highways. But even where you see the light blue shading, this is indicative of some of the areas where we might have a little bit of snow coming down, creating the potential for some travel slick spots for those of you who are traveling post-Christmas. So unless you're mostly sticking on the interstate going west between, let's say, Pocatello and Boise, looks like fairly smooth sailing there, although there may still be some flakes in the air at some point. You can see the shading of that blue kind of increases here as we go from today into tomorrow. Just keep your guard up. We want to make sure everyone stays safe. Check the forecast, check road conditions as we wrap up this system. High temperatures on Saturday, much colder. All snow showers expected. These have even trended a degree or two colder than what we showed you yesterday. So no precipitation type concerns there. And then finally Sunday, we shut everything down. We clear out. The system is over, but it left behind even colder temperatures with afternoon highs getting up to about 20 degrees to about 30 degrees, depending on where you're located. So a little bit cold on the backside of the system, at least compared to what we've seen recently. Everyone have a great Friday, and please feel free to reach out if you have questions, comments, concerns, support needs for us here at the office. We'll try to help you out. Stay safe out there.